Welcome back. You've joined us in the newsroom right here on ET Now. And let's now put the spotlight on Concor, or Container Corporation of India. It reported its numbers, which were weaker than what the street was working with. Revenues have risen by about 2% on a year-on-year basis, but margins have contracted to 20% versus 21% that the company reported same time last year. Exim volumes and revenue has risen, but on the flip side, domestic sales have fallen on a year-on-year basis. What led to that and what is the outlook going forward? To discuss exactly that, we are now joined by Mr. Sanjay Swaroop, CMD of Container Corporation of India. Mr. Swaroop, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now. Revenues have declined by about 6% on a sequential basis, and overall the performance was lower than what the street was working with. If we take cues from your last commentary that you gave at the end of last quarter, if you can tell us, your commentary last quarter was quite bullish, but what factors led to the decline in revenue this time around?
Good afternoon. Our volumes have shown a very good increase in this quarter, and volumes have risen by 11.3%. It is 12% in Exim and 9% in domestic. So physical volumes have been very good, but there has been revenue also increased by 2.5%, and on quarter-to-quarter, on year-to-year basis. But if you see the margin has not increased that much. The reasons are the less lead, actually, reduction in lead in Exim because of less demand in North India. And domestic also, there was some subdued demand. Because of that, we could not get that much business in domestic. This resulted in financial results not matching with the physical ones. But now in Q2, we are seeing excellent demand, both in Exim as well as domestic. And we are seeing very good imports and exports in North India. Plus domestic also, demand has picked up in various streams, from west, from east, from south. So we are quite optimistic that we will be able to recover the lost ground of Q1, and in the remaining 3 quarters, we will give an excellent performance.
And because you're saying that demand is now picking up, are you maintaining your 13% volume guidance that you had given at the end of last quarter for the full year FY26? And will we see 10% Exim growth and 20% domestic business growth as well this year? Do you stick by your guidance?
Yeah, I stick by my guidance, because as you see in Q1, in Exim, we are very much, even we are more than the guidance. I gave 10% guidance, but we achieved a growth of 12%. Only in domestic, I gave 20% guidance, but we could get 9%. But I am very optimistic that in the coming quarters, domestic will also recover the lost ground, and Exim will maintain this, because I am seeing the results already in Q2, and there is a very good demand, very good growth in our performance.
Growth and demand continues to remain very strong. That's as far as revenue growth is concerned. But what about margin guidance then? 20% EBITDA margin is what you reported in the first quarter. Is 24-25% still achievable for FY26?
See, as per our calculations, we have 23% EBITDA margins if we take other income also into account. And last year also it was 23.8%. This year we got 23.2%. So there is a difference of only 60 basis points. And I am very sure that we will be able to maintain 23 to 24% EBITDA margins, which are quite good in logistics sector. We will definitely be able to maintain that.
That you will be able to maintain 23-24% EBITDA margin going forward as well. And if you can share an update on commissioning of tank container business, how is that expected to reflect into financials in the next few years?
There was some delay in commissioning of tank containers from our sister PSU Messrs Braithwaite, because it is understandable, because it is a new product. So they took some time to develop it. And we received the first rake of tank containers of 90 containers. And on 30th June of this year, we loaded the first rake also. So first loading has already happened. and all the containers have been de-stuffed at the destination in Bangalore. Then second rake we are expecting in around 10 days from now. So we will have 2 rakes. Apart from that, we have given orders to private operators also, private manufacturers. They are also giving us rakes. Now there is an onset of monsoon. Monsoon, the construction activities are very slow or they are not there. Because of that, cement demand also goes down. But once after September, when monsoon is over, then by that time we will have a good fleet of tank containers also. So we are expecting in Q3 and Q4 we will get good cement, bulk cement loading.
Okay, so that's your outlook for the third and fourth quarter of this fiscal. But at the end of last quarter, you also told us that you are in negotiations with Jindal, JK Group, Tata and SAIL for tie-ups going ahead. Can you tell us if there has been any progress on this front and you've tied up with any of these conglomerates?
See, for Vedanta, already we have signed an agreement. With Jindal, I think by next week we will be able to enter into an agreement. For Tatas, I had a meeting with Chairman Tata Sons in Mumbai, which was a very fruitful meeting. So our teams are working together. They are doing mapping of cargo. And once it is completed, it will take some time. Then we will sign up an agreement with Tatas also. Apart from that, we had a meeting, very good meeting with JK Cement and LT Group. And both of them are quite happy with our services. And very soon, I think probably this month only, we will have some tie-up with both of these groups also.
Perhaps some kind of announcements and tie-ups with conglomerates is expected in the next few months. Mr. Swaroop, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now and helping us understand what the outlook is for the company going forward. Thanks so much for joining us today. But that's all the time we have on this edition of